13 Roads. Here is a tale I have not yet forgotten. Listen. Tonight it is a man who has built the same wall for 600 years, and who is calm about it. I want you to hear that twice. 600 years. And calm. There are 13 roads, and one of them is called the crooked road. It is the road that does not believe in distance. You can walk a full day on the crooked road, fast and steady, with the sun moving the way the sun is supposed to move, and at evening you will look up and find yourself 100 paces from where you set out at dawn. Travelers learn to bring more bread than the map says they should. Travelers learn to count their days by the bread, not by the road. The road bends in ways that ground does not usually bend. I tell you this so you will believe what comes next. In a valley where the crooked road bends past 3 hills, there lives a stonemason. I will call him the Mason, because he did not give me his name, and I do not think he remembers it. The valley is a small one. The hills around it are low and round, and the grass on them is the kind of grass that has been grazed by sheep for so long it has forgotten how to grow tall. There are no sheep there now. There is no village. There is the mason, and there is the foundation of a wall. And there is a quarry the mason cut himself, half a mile up the eastern hill, where he goes when he needs more stone, which is most days. The wall is meant to be 12 feet tall. The wall is meant to be 140 paces long. The mason told me both numbers without thinking, the way a baker tells you the weight of a loaf. The wall is meant to keep something out. I asked him what. He looked at me for a long moment. Then he said, I do not know what it is exactly. I know the shape of the keeping out. I know where it would come from if I let it. I know the wall is the answer to it. The knowing is not in words. He said, the keeping out is the work. It is enough to know the work. I did not press him. I have learned not to press a man when his answer is also his peace. Here is the rule of the wall. Every dawn the wall is at the bottom course. Every dawn it stands at maybe knee height, the way a wall stands when a mason has laid the first day's stones and gone to bed. The mortar is fresh. The stones are cool with the night. The valley has not yet warmed. He builds through the morning. By midday the wall is at his chest. He builds through the afternoon. By sundown, the wall is at 3/4 of his height, sometimes a little more, and the light is going, and his hands are bleeding in the small cracks where stone meets skin. He has never gotten the wall past head high before midday. He has never gotten it past 3/4 by sunset. And at dawn, the wall is back at the bottom course again, knee height, cool, waiting. 600 years of dawns. He looks about 30. I want you to hold that picture. A man of 30, with hands like a man of 50 because of the work, with a beard cut close because long beards catch in mortar, with the kind of patient eyes you see on the older shepherds in country where the weather is hard. 30. 600 years of dawns, and 30. I asked him how he came to be there. He told me he could not remember. He remembered being a boy with a chisel in his father's shed. He remembered the weight of his first hammer, which had been too heavy for him, and how his father had not made him a smaller one, because his father believed a boy should grow into a tool, not the other way around. He remembered his mother's hands on his shoulders the morning he left the village, though he could not remember which village, and could not remember whether he had left of his own choosing or had been sent. He remembered nothing in between the leaving and the wall. He did not remember a crime. He did not remember a sentence. He did not remember a judge or a god or a road warden or any voice that had told him what he was for. He remembered the boy with the chisel and the mother's hands, and then he remembered the wall, and the wall had always been at the bottom course. I asked him if he thought he was being punished. He thought about it. He said, I do not know if this is punishment. I know it is what I do. I worked beside him for one day, I should tell you how that came about. I had walked into the valley at mid-morning by the path that comes down off the eastern hill, and I had seen him from a distance, working. From a distance, the work looked like any work, a man building a wall going up. The day moving the way days move. I came down off the path and he saw me coming, and he straightened, and he wiped his hands on his apron, and he watched me cross the last 50 paces with the kind of look a man gives a stranger when he is deciding whether the stranger is welcome. I came up to him. I told him my name. I told him I was a walker on the roads. He nodded. He said, "Do you know how to lay stone?" I said I had laid a little in my time. He said, "There is more than one man can lift a day. If you are willing, the wall is willing." I was willing. He taught me a stone cutting technique that morning that I have not seen anywhere else. It is a way of striking the chisel that keeps the line of the cut from running. Most masons strike the chisel at a hard angle and the stone splits, and most of the time it splits where you wanted it to. His way was softer. He held the chisel almost flat against the face of the stone, and he tapped it. 4 light taps and a 5th heavier one, and the stone parted along the line he had drawn in chalk like a piece of bread breaking along a score. I cut a stone in his way. It parted. I laughed, the way a man laughs when his hands have learned a thing. He smiled. He said, "My father taught me, I think." I asked him if his father had been a mason. He said he thought so. He said he could no longer be sure. He said the technique was older than he was, and so the technique was true, even if his memory of where it came from was not. We laid stone together until the sun was high. At noon we stopped, and we sat on a flat rock at the foot of the wall, and we ate. He had bread and hard cheese, and an onion and a flask of water, and he gave me half of all of it without my asking. The bread was his bread. He baked it himself, in an oven he had built in the eastern hill because there was no village. The cheese he traded for, when traders came up the crooked road, which was not often, and they always asked him how the wall was coming, and he always said, "It is coming." We ate without speaking for a while. Then I asked him the question I had been carrying since I'd come down off the path. I said, "The wall goes back at dawn. Why do you keep building?" He chewed his bread. He looked at the wall. He said, "It does not go all the way back." I asked him what he meant. He said, "The rule is that at dawn the wall is the height it was at the dawn before. So if I lay stone all day and stop at sundown, the dawn takes it all. The next morning I am at the bottom course again." That is what I did for many years. He said, "many years," the way another man says, "a long time." He said, "I do not remember how many." He said, "But if I do not stop at sundown, if I keep working through the night, by lamp and by moon, and the dawn finds me with the wall higher than it was at the previous dawn, then the dawn only takes me back to the height I am holding when the dawn happens to me. The dawn fixes the wall at whatever it is at the moment the light comes over the eastern hill. So if I am at 4 feet when dawn comes, the wall is 4 feet at dawn. The next day I start from 4 feet." He said, "I worked this out eventually." I asked him how long it had taken him to work it out. He said, "A long time." I sat with that for a while. I sat with the picture of him, year after year, building the wall up to head high before sundown, watching the wall